Welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite program, The Diaspora, where we bring you up to speed with juicy stories you may have missed. I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. We celebrate all our frontline heroes who are working tirelessly in the face of COVID-19. You are going the whole hog by endangering your lives for us all, and we in no small measure take this for granted. We want to say a special congratulations to Dr. Olagunju Ogumbi, a distinguished British Nigerian consultant. Dr. Ogumbi has taught several generations of UK health workers and has contributed immensely to the UK health sector. He was under care for 2.5 weeks and recovered. Please watch this amazing show of love.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. I mean, about just over 6 weeks ago, I came here, feeling very ill, and I put my trust in my colleagues, and they haven't disappointed. The care I've received on the intensive care unit has been superb, second to none. And when I eventually, certainly I can speak for the time when after I woke up, after about 2.5 weeks, and the staff there made a potentially embarrassing situation a non-event. It's been excellent. I don't think I could have got better care anywhere. And when I came up to the ward, the same thing. Everything has been perfect. I've put my trust in the staff in the Royal Free, and they've come up trumps. It's the very first time I've ever been hospitalized in my life, and to have a major, life-threatening illness and come through it, which, if you look at the statistics, were all against me, has been, listen. So now I go home and recover. Get my legs. I can't believe that my legs are like jelly. It's as if I'm learning how to walk again. Anyway, I suspect in 2 or 3 weeks' time I'm going to get bored at home. But I shall be back soon, and many thanks to everyone.
Wow, so much love. Proudly Nigerian. And now, still in the mood of appreciation, let's take a quick look at the kind gesture by Jimmy Kimmel as he celebrated 2 Nigerian Americans, Mrs. Uche Onya and her daughter Ona, as the 2 healthcare heroes of the week. This was shown in his program. Enjoy. Us super proud. Now we bring to your screen the COVID-19 soundbites as we join Dr. Kelechi Olejeme as she sheds more light on the coronavirus pandemic.
COVID-19 is a pandemic. It is a disease caused by coronavirus that is affecting all the countries worldwide. COVID is COVID. The CO in COVID stands for corona, VI stands for virus, and D stands for disease. The 19 comes from the fact that COVID was discovered in 2019 in China. COVID is currently a pandemic. The symptoms of COVID are things I'm going to talk to you about. COVID is a novel virus, and what that means is that every single day we are learning about the COVID virus. There are different symptoms that it presents with, and every single day we get new ones. Initially, when COVID first started, the common symptoms were fever, cough, and shortness of breath. As time has gone on, we have other symptoms, which include chest pain, chills, muscle ache, the lack of taste, the lack of smell, headaches, dizziness. In some children, it presents with a rash. In bad COVID cases, we have patients who present with blue lips. COVID basically shows up about a few days after interaction with a patient with COVID. The spread of COVID can be by droplet infection, and in some cases there is a thought process it can be by airborne. The droplet transmission can be when you are in contact with droplets from a patient's cough. The airborne transmission can be by just simply breathing the air the patient has. Symptoms of COVID usually show up about a few days after interaction, and patients either get better or they get worse. Although we have seen around the world how there are several cases of severe COVID and severe mortality with COVID, which means a lot of people have died with COVID, the general thought process is at least 80% of patients that have COVID will get better without any treatment. A lot of patients who don't have symptoms or who have mild symptoms, when they present to the hospital, we essentially ask them to go home and take Tylenol and to monitor their symptoms. If they get worse, in which case they start having worsening fever, worsening cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, or stroke, or other symptoms, then we ask them to come to the hospital and then we treat them. At this time, there is no known cure for COVID. There are several treatments out there, but none of them have been proven yet to be a cure for COVID. At the same time, we have no vaccines for COVID. So we have no means to protect ourselves from COVID. The only thing we can do at this time is prevention. By prevention, we ask you to social distance. Social distancing means you keep several feet away from everyone because you don't know who has COVID and who doesn't have COVID. Remember I said, some people have COVID and show no symptoms. The other way you can prevent from having COVID is you wash your hands regularly. You can also use hand sanitizers. Attempt not to touch your face. If you're going to have a cough or a sneeze, please do it into your elbow or into a handkerchief or into tissue paper. What we also ask is that you take care of yourself. I get this question a lot. Everyone asks me, what can I do to improve my immunity? I think that question is very important because research has shown that COVID tends to affect most the people that have low immunity. The people that have low immunity are patients that have diabetes, high blood pressure, liver disease, kidney disease, cancers, lung disease. So I know that there are lots of videos circulating. Everybody has a recommendation. My advice to you is to only take recommendations from approved government and medical sites. At this time, this is what you can do to improve your immunity. If you are someone who smokes, please stop smoking. Smoking damages the lungs. If you have damaged lungs, your chances of recovering from COVID is worse. If you have high blood pressure, take your medications, check your blood pressure regularly. If you have diabetes, change your diet, go on a diabetic diet. Take your diabetic medications, check your blood sugar regularly. If you have cholesterol issues, change your diet, take your cholesterol medication. For patients that are obese, diet and exercise is ultimately what you can do. There is no hard clear fact that drinking any medication at this time, drinking any local herbs, taking any potions will stop you from having COVID. The most important thing I want you to take from this is improve your immunity by improving your comorbidities such as diabetes, hypertension, stop drinking, stop smoking, take your medication, diet and exercise. One final thing, as the world begins to open up, a lot of people are going back to work. We ask that you social distance, but at the same time, we ask that you use a mask. There are several videos that show you how to make a face mask. Face masks are very, very important. The way you can prevent yourself from getting COVID is if you're wearing a mask, somebody else is wearing a mask, everybody is wearing a mask, the degree of transmission is so low. As the disease becomes so low that it's not transmitted or transferred from patient to patient, it eventually will go away and we will all be free from COVID. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Kelechi.
My name is Maiwa.
I'm Dr. Deanna Dory Beckier.
My name is Faith Nwamuba.
My name is Matthew Benegate.
My name is Ike Wenke.
My name is Dr. Peace Nuebo Banks.
My name is Dr. Vanessa Chica Enze.
My name is Dr. Neka Papillon, and I'm a physician.
And I'm a registered nurse.
I'm a physician and specifically an anesthesiologist.
I'm an acute care nurse practitioner.
Yeah, I'm a physician here in Dallas.
I'm a family medicine physician.
I'm a physician trained in internal medicine and pediatrics.
And I'm an obstetrician gynecologist.
I just want to remind everyone to please stay safe during these times.
I know it's tempting to want to go outside and gather with friends and do things like we used to do, but really right now is not the time.
Try to practice social distancing.
It means if you are a non-essential worker and you are leaving the house for non-essential things, it is imperative to stay home.
Now, more than ever, the choices that you make can impact the lives of so many others.
The coronavirus is very real and it's affecting people to the point of death.
But it's going to take an effort of all of us.
We are a united family and we will overcome this.
We are part
two.
two.
Bye, everyone.
Nigerians in the diaspora are asking for global support to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Do well to give your bid. Here are the details. And now, onto our Help from Home segment. Remember the young, promising lady Zainab Aliyu who traveled to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia for Hajj with her mother Hajia Mariam Aliyu. She was arrested and tried on drug-related matters and spent 4 months in prison. However, good news, as the Nigerian government took the necessary steps on her detention by Saudi Arabian authorities, as it was established that she was wrongfully arrested for drug peddling. After her innocence was established, she was handed over to the Nigerian consulate in Jeddah. Now, it's been a year that Zainab went through such harrowing experiences as she has moved on with her life. However, her release was facilitated by Mr. President, who instructed the Attorney General of the Federation to ensure her release in conjunction with the Nigerian consulate in Jeddah, as well as the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, and other stakeholders.
The Saudi experience have really changed my life, because the way I view life before being in Saudi Arabia is different from the way I'm viewing life right now. Actually, being in Saudi Arabia has really taught me a lot and a lot. Prayers and patience are the key to hardship. I thank each and everyone who have been with me and my family during our trial, being it through prayers, physically, or kind words. May the Almighty Allah bless you all.
And now we have good reports from Mrs. Shade Ogunde as NIDCOM intervened on behalf of her son who needed to renew his passport in Ottawa, Canada. Her appreciation letter goes thus. Dear Elion, my son Adedoyin Ikeoluwa Adekoya got his new passport from the Nigerian mission at Ottawa this afternoon. It's simply incredible. I wish I could express my appreciation to Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa in person, but I trust you will pass my message to her as you've done ever since I first communicated my son's problem to you. Please tell her that I appreciate her more than words can truly express. She's a real mother, sister, and a true champion for the cause of Nigerians in diaspora, and I am so proud of her. I'm sure our paths will cross someday, and I'll be able to express my thanks in person. But meanwhile, please tell her I'm eternally grateful and indebted to her. And I pray God Almighty, in His infinite mercy, will reward her kindness and continue to bless her on all that is hers. Amen. Big thanks to you also, Elion Nimsi and Mr. Idris Ozigi. Wish I knew your real name, for being so conscientious and selfless to the extent of responding to a stranger's cry for help, even on a weekend. You guys are simply the best. And with people like you serving in government, I believe there's hope for Nigeria after all. With my highest regards, Mrs. Shade Ogunde. We are glad to hear that. Thank you, NIDCOM, for the prompt intervention. Please keep up the good work.
My name is John Adam Smart. I'm from Kaduna State. In 2017, I traveled to Kenya, hoping for a better life than what I have here back home. But it turns out very bad because of documentation issues. I ended up landed me in prison. I spent 6 months in prison. Thanks to NIDCOM, Kaduna State Governor, and Rosalind Edbinobi Foundation, the Nigerian High Commission in Kenya, for facilitating my return back home. We have so much opportunity here back home, and if you ask me, one thing I think I would have done different is to stay back home and use the knowledge, the skills I have to contribute to the growth of Nigeria, which I believe is going to impact other African nations better than leaving home. So my message is simple. If you have to travel, it has to be necessary, and travel the right way. If not, just stay home. Let's grow home, love home.
We celebrate our courageous female pilot, Miss Abimbola Jayola, who prevented a mishap from happening to a Sikorsky S-76 helicopter owned by a Bristol aviation company in Nigeria, carrying 13 passengers from Port Harcourt to Lagos. We salute your courage, and you are forever celebrated. Nigerians for sure are the best. Thank you for staying all through the program. It's been worthwhile. And in case you have anything to share with us, please do not hesitate to do so, as we expect feedback on our show. Remember, you can reach us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, on Twitter at NIDCOM_gov, on our Instagram page at NIDCOM_gov, and on our website at www.nidcom.gov.ng. You can also join us on DSTV at NTA Network News on Friday at 10:30 a.m., on NTA International on Tuesday at 6 a.m. and 10:05 p.m., on NTA News 24 on Friday at 2:30 p.m., and on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. And you can also join us on WAP TV on Monday at 10 p.m. I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. See you next time.